Okay, it looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Overwatch Oasis League. We are on the last head of our triple header tonight. We've had one game already concluded, one game going on, and now we finally got a third game going on. Team Rocket versus Diving Phoenix. Both of these teams towards the top of the standings. Should be a very exciting match. I am Mr. Gaming Kirby, and I am joined by my co-commentator, Kanade.
Hello, hello. I am here.
So, the storyline for both of these teams, Diving Phoenix off to a very hot start, 3-0 right now, and they're coming off a nail-biting victory, almost got reverse swept by Cosmic Omnics. Team Rocket, they struggled in the first week against a very good team in Nova, but they have bounced back really nicely so far. Last week, they put up a really nice performance against prestigious noobs, so both of these teams looking to really cement themselves as one of the team's best right now, and I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, this is gonna be a relatively close one, I feel. Possibly gonna go to a map 5. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, that game against KO was so close. Kind of disappointed, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, obviously you were a part of that one.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are playing very different strats at the moment.
Yeah,
dive, like a pseudo dive coming in.
Yeah, it's interesting. Both teams do have the D.Va, but BX Hunter's on the monkey. He dives in right away, but is already taking swings from John Hawk, but good focus fire.
John Hawk was not immediate, but they traded out for Bean. Yeah, Bean.
Yeah, Diving Phoenix are able to get the positioning on the point, and now Brow Daddy going out of mech. This isn't looking too good. XLR trying to find those picks, but it's a cap already for Diving Phoenix. As the cleanup is almost certain to happen here, as Diving Phoenix win the first team fight.
Richard gets a relatively late pick off there on Rappy, so that's gonna stagger them a little bit. They're gonna have to wait for pretty much a full team to regroup into this. And I see BX going, which should be the Reinhardt trying to mirror it. I think this is probably the better play. Winston isn't amazing on this map for the most part, just because there's not a whole lot of high ground to take advantage of.
Holy Chuckster gets the opening pick, doing a great job at attempting to shut down this Pharah as much as they can, considering that they don't have a hit scan. Big Richard is going to go down to Rappy, though, and with Immortality Field expended, Team Rocket are going to try and go aggressive on this. They take Holy Chuckster out of mech, but Steph builds up that sound barrier, and what's not going to pop? The amplification matrix as well, so both of the support ults being used. Rowdy going to respond with the D.Va Bomb, able to find one, and it looks like Team Rocket are slowly going to be able to get this team fight victory. Richard trying to throw in the bomb, does take out Moosh, and gets XLR as well. I don't know if it's going to be enough, as BX Hunter is back beyond. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Steph is going to go ahead and contest. I don't think it's just to get a little bit more percent. 68 on the board, and Team Rocket have their first cap.
That was a very good hold coming in from Team Rocket. Team Rocket, excuse me. That entire fight was opened up by Bean hitting a pretty big anti-nade. Caught two people, caught the Reinhardt and the Shatter going to catch three.
Yeah, both of the Ryan's Shatters do get blocked. Are going to see B-Ant commit the nano onto BX Hunter, and he's going to try and go aggressive, but Holy Chuckster, using that opportunity with no shield in front, is going to go for a D.Va Bomb. Not going to find anything, and it is looking like Team Rocket are looking like they are in a very good position. The nano worked out, gave them the positioning advantage, and yeah, they're going to win the team fight. Diving Phoenix slowly going to back out here.
And at this point, they just have to reset and try and come up with the game plan, build up these ultimates. This Death Blossom is going to have to be huge, because at the moment it's one of their only two ultimates they have. But with Korea being played by Rappy, might not get a whole lot of value.
Strozel has that Death Blossom available. We'll see how many ultimates Team Rocket use to initiate. There is the bomb. There's this Death Blossom, but it's a nice stun from Rappy, and XLR is going to find one with the tire, but the picks are certainly going back and forth. What's Not still can use the amplification matrix if they want, but Rappy finding two with the high noon. This is looking pretty good. Strozel is going to go down, and we're entering team fight territory for Diving Phoenix here. Moosh still has that sound barrier, but that's pretty much the only ultimate online for Team Rocket.
on the side of Diamond Phoenix, they don't really have anything but the Pulse Bomb, which, oh, it did get stick, and it got Rappy. That was a huge pick.
That's a great start to this team fight, as they don't have Rappy now. Moosh gonna pop the sound barrier here, trying to keep Team Rocket alive for this fight, trying to kite the ultimates being used on the side of Diving Phoenix. They have the point presence right now, and there's the shatter. It's nice. Knocks down multiple people. Holy Chuckster is going to use the bomb as well. It takes out Brow Daddy, who's not able to remech, and it's only the DPS here, so that's going to be it. Strozel getting close to that ultimate, and that might be what they need in order to close out this round.
So XR with this Riptide. Riptide's an ultimate that, especially against this kind of comp, can get massive value if it's not like immediately dealt with by pretty much just Orion Fire Strike.
Big thing is, what's Nat might have to use a big immortality field here. Here we go. 10% left for Diving Phoenix. Brow Daddy gonna initiate with the bomb. Not gonna find anything, but it does force out the immortality field. Picks going back and forth right now. Both teams have two. Exlar has that tire. He's using it from the high ground. Finds two. Strozel has the Death Blossom, but Brow Daddy is still here. And Exlar able to take him down. The recapture for Team Rocket is there. Is anyone else going to be able to touch? No. That will be the first point going the way of Team Rocket.
Yeah. Like we were talking about, like, that Immort was pretty much their only clean getaway to that Riptire, and they had to force it, or they had to use it early due to that Diva Bomb. I wonder if somebody was out of position, they were forced to use it, or it was in a position where our Hunter couldn't see it and he had to block it, or not Hunter, excuse me, John Hawk had to block it but couldn't see it.
So now here we go. Both of these teams looking to run some Lucio Rush comps, as you frequently see on Mecha Base, and both of them, I mean, committing to very brawl-centric comps, especially on the side of Diving Phoenix here with the Reaper May. This is like the definition of fast-paced, in-your-face brawl comp.
This wall has to be big, and it doesn't really separate anybody, to be honest.
Yeah, it separated both of the tanks and the McCree, and BX Hunter's already almost down, has to retreat to the point, and he finds the Fire Strike kill onto John Hawk. Strozel has to Wraith away, but now he's in this room, able to take down BX Hunter, so both of the main tanks out of this team fight. Holy Chuckster, decently charged, trying to find the damage, able to take down the counterpart in Brow Daddy, using the bubbles as well. John Hawk is back, able to take the Fire Strike. XR building a quick tire. Teamfight still up for grabs, though, as Strozel getting multiple kills, but he's the only one still here. And Team Rocket, they capture the point right off the bat, and they'll be able to hold on as they win the first team fight.
That was a huge hold from XR with that Riptire. He caught 3 of them with that. I don't even think they're ready for tire to be built up that fast.
Rappy swapping to the Reaper here, and Team Rocket don't really have many of their ultimates, and John Hawk getting the opening pick onto Exlar, that's huge. They're going to have both DPS ults coming up. What's Nat expending the immortality field right off the bat. Now John Hawk trying to get the positioning on this Rhine. There's the wall, and they're going to try and take down Brow Daddy, who's kind of the only one that got caught by its shatter. BX Hunter not going to find anything, and there's the amplification matrix coming out from What's Nat. That might be all they need to win this team fight. Holy Chuckster on point, beaming down Brow Daddy. Rappy is back. Exlar does take down one, but I don't think anything else is going to come of a possible Team Rocket recontest, and that will be Diving Phoenix able to take the point, but 61% on the board for Team Rocket.
And they won that fight with basically no ultimate. All they used was the M Matrix, which is ready. This game goes halfway back already, so they have 5 ultimates to work with for this next fight. And all
Richard,
of them are huge.
Yep. Richard looking to find the Blizzard, but it's actually going to be the combo of the grab and the Death Blossom that is opening this team fight, and it is good from Strozel. He finds 3, and that's exactly what you want to see from Diving Phoenix. Only 2 ultimates being used there, trying to hold on to this point.
They're doing a very good job rotating through their ultimates at the moment. Yeah, this Rhine Shatter and this Blizzard are going to be the next big ones that they're going to have available to them to use.
So here we go. Xlar does have that tire. There's the shatter coming out from John Hawk. He gets incredibly low and is forced to use the Immortality Field. Rowdaddy's Diva Bomb not going to get a whole lot, and there's Big Richard using the Blizzard. Xlar's tire does not get a whole lot this time, and Diving Phoenix are on the upper foot, but BX Hunter getting the pin kill onto John Hawk. This is exactly what Team Rocket needs right now. Holy Chucks are still incredibly high charge though, but Rappy able to take them down, and it does look like this will be the capture coming out from Team Rocket, but Diving Phoenix also able to get quite a bit on the board, 64%, but pretty much one team fight remaining.
Both these teams are throwing just absolute haymakers at each other. Every fight, it's just back and forth. Every fight is so close.
So here we go. Rappy getting close to that Death Blossom. That might be the win condition here. BX Hunter also has that Shatter available. John Hawk does not. Whatsnap might have to get a huge amplification matrix here. 87% and counting. Big Richard and Rappy having a 1v1, forcing out the Icicle. Big Richard wins that 1v1. That is massive, but there's the Shatter. It is a good one, but the peel is there, and Whatsnap now popping the amplification matrix. Both of the tanks on Diving Phoenix down, though, as Xlar finding the pick onto Big Richard. It's so close. Strozel getting close to that Death Blossom, but will they be able to survive for long enough? No, the Coalescence beams them down. Both the Sound Barrier and the Tire being used from the Junkrat and the Lucio. Here comes Rappy, not going to find much with the Death Blossom, but maybe it didn't even need to find anything as John Hawk goes down. Big Richard throws out the Blizzard. Not going to do too much as Holy Chuckster is the only one on point, and Team Rocket, they win the first map here.
That second point was extremely close. I think both fights, or both teams were just having very close fights. The differences was definitely the ultimate usage for that. Diving Phoenix is just getting so much more value out of it.
Just a great flank here by Xlar, and taking down Whatsnap as well, because they possibly still had the Immortality Field available. So great job. Whatsnap with very good healing numbers, but look at that damage. 13,000 in less than 10 minutes. That is very successful Junkrat play. Stroh's also getting 4 gold medals, though, so both of the DPS are certainly playing well to start off here. We'll have to see. Both of these teams have a lot of players on the bench. We'll see if any adjustments are made.
Next map, Numbani coming up. I assume this is gonna be pretty brawl focused matchup coming. Both teams seem to favor the Rhine. Even though Team Rocket did.
I'm actually interested. You know, that Team Rocket, they started off with the look on dive there on cities or downtown. I almost wonder if maybe they were giving it a little bit of a taste before they try it on Numbani, because, you know, on both defense and attack, you know, dive is certainly a strat on Numbani.
No, I agree. The thing is that if Diving Phoenix is gonna run this brawl comp, which it seems like they will, or which is what I assume they will run, the dive can have a bit of a hard time, especially if they're playing very grouped up together. There's not really one person to pick out to go upon, you know.
Still waiting on possible swaps. It was interesting. For Diving Phoenix, in their game against Cosmic Omnics this past week, they had a lineup in which they ran for 3 maps and won, and the other 2 maps they significantly changed the lineup and were not able to. They ended up losing 2 consecutive maps, and they brought back that original lineup on the first 2 maps to avoid the reverse sweep. So, it was really, you know, Ramen Hub that was playing really well on the main tank here. So, and I don't know. I think possibly think he's gonna show up, but I don't know if he's in the lobby right now.
And the defensive KO, their tank players had to leave, so we had to put support players on tank. It happens, you know.
No, that's true. I'm just saying like the Diving Phoenix definitely had a lineup this past game that
No, yeah, I
really
agree.
worked for them. And I don't want to take away it. In fact, it is the people that are currently on the bench right now. When Lido take the strap and for Algatron came in, they did end up losing those maps. But again, I don't want to take away from. I don't think it was specifically them that was the reason they started to lose those maps. So we'll kind of see what they want to do. If they want to keep like more consistent lineups in and make less changes. And yeah, they're gonna go with no swaps. They want to kind of play this game where they want to keep these lineups fresh and well synergized.
I think this is a good call. Like you were saying, like if I think if they had kept the same lineup instead of switching out in that KO game, they probably could have gotten it a lot faster. But sometimes you just want to try things out, especially if you're already ahead. If you already have if you're already up 2 maps, at that point you kind of just want to test things out, see what works, see what doesn't.
We're going to see 3 swaps coming in for Team Rocket. We're going to see their star DPS player, PowerPoint, come in. He had another excellent performance in the game against Prestigious Noobs. He just continues to just play great Overwatch. And then we're going to see and Professor Oak come in to be the new support duo.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. PowerPoint is their hit scan player, correct?
He plays pretty much everything.
That's fair.
I assume he will play hit scan because XLR's in, and he has mostly played the Junkrat. For those who don't know, XLR is actually NYC Takeover from last season. So if you remember him, that's who that is. So.
Looks like Nightbot has died. Unlucky.
Nightbot's been acting weird lately, I gotta be honest.
Nightbot's always weird.
Well, it's currently 1-0 in favor of Team Rocket. They won there on Busan 2-0, but it definitely was not convincing. Both teams definitely winning several team fights across the maps. I mean, it was very close for. It was I think it was a little less close on Mecha Base, but even then, like it was kind of close. I think the main one Diving Phoenix definitely could have won was downtown.
No, I agree. I think the biggest difference there was that the ultimate usage from Team Rocket was just barely better on the Mecha Base, and that's what let them go into it and take it.
Traveling to Mumbai.
So here we go, heading into Numbani, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And Team Rocket, they're starting on attack here. We'll see if they want to just jump right in and play maybe some Monkey Diva, and it'll be interesting.
I want to see if they're gonna commit to it. Like you said, they flashed it earlier on the downtown map of Busan, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do run it. But again, like a lot of teams are in Tier 3 do appreciate the Rhine, but it looks like neither side is playing that at the moment, so I'm wrong.
Yeah, right now in their spawn, they're showing a pretty dive-centric comp. As for Diving Phoenix, they're rolling out here on a double shield comp, and another frequent thing you see on Numbani. You can run a lot of things on Numbani actually, just because the high ground is so prevalent, and but even still, like there's a lot of places you can go on the low ground to kind of restabilize, and it's one of those weird maps. I feel like
this bunker setup that Diving Phoenix have is going to be pretty hard to break overall, though. This Pharah is going to have to put in massive work, but with Stroh's on the Ashe, pocketed Ashe, she could get melted just as easily.
Yeah, that will definitely... This is definitely going to be a tough task for Xlar going into pretty much everything you can get to counter Pharah except for maybe the Diva instead of Sigma. So we'll see. Here's the first dive attempt coming in from BX Hunter, already causing a lot of disruption. Brow Daddy nearly goes down, as does PowerPoint, but as of right now, they're still relatively healthy. Strozel finds that opening pick onto Professor Oak. As the team still brawling out on point here, John Hawk might be in a little bit of trouble, already half health, but Strozel from the high ground, finding the picks. He looks great so far, and that is a great start for Diving Phoenix defense. As PowerPoint, probably not going to be able to escape. They know where he is. Oh, wait, hold on. Just Steph goes down. PowerPoint's still alive! And gets a Mega! Oh my god.
Pulled out the hammer and tried to run him down, and that's what led to Just Steph getting killed.
But now here we go. It's a 6v5. Big ante onto What's Nat. BX Hunter going in, getting 2 with the Primal Rage right off the bat. PowerPoint goes down to Big Richard's turret, but I think the damage has been done. Just Steph somehow able to get that res literally right in the middle of 5 people. Obviously, the rest of the team are focusing down the Torb. John Hawk's still here, but incredibly low, and that will be the cleanup as, yeah, the Team Rocket are able to immediately capitalize on that 65 that they had. Great Primal Rage from BX Hunter.
That's a huge ante coming up from Professor Oak also. I'm not gonna say, I don't want to say it was caused from a bad play from Richard, but the hammer was definitely not the call there.
I mean, he was literally one, and credit to PowerPoint for getting that exit kill as well.
Oh yeah, agreed.
PowerPoint does have that blade ready, but it's definitely not looking good already as Brow Daddy is out of mech, but here's the Nano coming in from Professor Oak onto PowerPoint. He does find 1, but not a whole lot. Diving Phoenix doing a pretty good job at kiting the rest of this ultimate. Holy Chuckster committing the Gravitic Flux. It does take down BX Hunter, and I think this will be a team fight victory for Diving Phoenix. Have to be careful, but Xlar is going to go down. He had the barrage, but decided against using it, so Diving Phoenix stabilize.
Yeah, you lose your main thing. It's kind of at that point, it's the odds of winning are quite low. Good on them knowing when to peel back. They didn't really lose anybody else. Oh, PowerPoint's in an interesting position trying to push up on his Ash. Gets forced out.
Brow Daddy has that self-destruct ready. Forces out the immortality from What's Nat, but more importantly, it does take down Big Richard and Holy Chuckster down too. This isn't looking good for Diving Phoenix as they're continuing to have to back up, but BX Hunter and Brow Daddy trying to continue to put in that pressure. So is PowerPoint. Strozel not able to get out cleanly with the team, and will get focused down by Brow Daddy. So this is almost certainly looking like a point B capture. But John Hawk with a nice shatter. Here we go. Molten Core coming out from Big Richard. Over the top, Xlar using the barrage is able to take down What's Nat with both healers going down on the side of Diving Phoenix. I think it's only a matter of time before we see Team Rocket able to capture point B. They just need to take down Big Richard and Holy Chuckster, and they do.
It was a big shatter, but there wasn't enough follow-up on it. PowerPoint with a huge deflect.
Yeah, taking down Strozel here. Are they going to be able to get out themselves? Yes! Wow, unbelievable. And now they have another Nano Blade here. That is certainly going to be the win condition they're going to try and go for here. Good ante on the tanks coming out from Professor Oak. Here we go. Blade coming out, the Nano, there it is as well, and it's already got 2 kills. PowerPoint shredding through the back line. Holy Chuckster still alive here, but Strozel goes down and still has the Valkyrie if they need it, and Brow Daddy has that Diva Bomb. It's going to be tough for Diving Phoenix to come back in, but John Hawk is on that ball now, looking for that stall potential. Almost does take down Xlar, and Big Richard does find the pick onto PowerPoint. Can and possibly get that res. Here comes the self-destruct from Brow Daddy. It takes down What's Nat. Oh man, BX Hunter has that primal. Oh yeah, it's gonna boop everyone away. And that's going to be a great time bank coming out from Team Rocket, who continue to put nice statements out as they're looking real strong.
You can't help but just look at that first defense and just think like, if they had gotten PowerPoint there, that probably wouldn't have happened because that just shifted all the momentum to Diving Phoenix.
So now we'll see if Diving Phoenix can respond here. They stayed on mostly double shield for that entire defense. We'll see if they want to continue to run that, or if we'll possibly see Brawl or maybe even Dive come out from them. John Hawk has played the Winston in the past.
I think he's on the ball. He's showing the ball right now. I think they're showing ball deep at the moment.
PowerPoint.
Playing the double shield with the Widow.
Yeah, PowerPoint showing off that signature Widowmaker. So many highlight plays on his reel. Will he find even more this time around? It will be very...
The money is the kind of map you think of Widow. It's more of like an Ashe dominated map in terms of hit skin, Ashe or Soldier, just because like it's how do I say it? It's a lot more compact per se, so it can be harder to find the picks on the Widow.
You know, it's interesting because I think it was Season 3, a little history lesson. I think it was Season 3 where we had like a week where Numbani was in the map rotation and there was like Widows popping off in every game. So we have seen good Widows on Numbani in the past. We'll see if PowerPoint is no different. PowerPoint might have been one of them, honestly. Oh, he finds the opening pick onto Big Richard. Exactly what you want to see. As, yeah, Diving Phoenix already just not even gonna bother with this push until Big Richard gets back, because they are obviously looking for those hack targets running this pretty dive-oriented comp.
Richard sees the XR and junk, immediately TP's out. Does not want any part of that.
Do you see, John Hawk is trying to apply some pressure. Both of these tanks are on the point. Are going to have to be careful. Holy Chucks are trying to eat as much of that Junkrat spam as they can, and Junkrat is down. Strozel able to get into the back line and find that pick. They have to be careful. Not PowerPoint able to find the kill onto John Hawk. He's still alive. That is definitely something that Diving Phoenix should probably take care of. He takes down Big Richard. Oh my god. PowerPoint still finding those picks, but a good boop from just Steph. PowerPoint able to use that grapple hook, and Steph takes him down. Great play from Steph right there. Not only to get the boop to force them to use the grapple hook, but went aggressive there. Xlar goes down. Both of the tanks on the point here. Holy Chuckster might be in trouble, and they actually do commit EMP there. That's a nice anti-nade from What's Nat on the Ana here. Brow Daddy the only one on point, and that will be Diving Phoenix capturing the point.
That was a relatively clean fight. They didn't clean PowerPoint fast enough. That's the only reason why it got a little hairy there.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those. Ooh, nice shot from PowerPoint. Big Richard gonna look for those hacks in the back line. Actually going for Professor Oak right now. Good peel from Brow Daddy. He's able to translocate away. Payload being pushed through point B here as both teams getting back to full strength. John Hawk finding that opening pick, and he has the mines available. He might go aggressive. Actually, it is going to start with the Diva Bomb. It's not going to find anything, but XLR already down. Strozel on this off angle, trying to find the picks, and is going to use that Valkyrie, as well as BX Hunter using the Supercharger to try and turn this around. Brow Daddy using the bomb as well. It's not going to find anything. Holy Chucks are incredibly low, but these are not good ultimates coming out on the side of Team Rocket. PowerPoint able to find one coming back on the McCree, but is anyone going to be able to touch? No, that is going to be a quick point B capture for Diving Phoenix.
Both teams are just having really solid attacks, and their defenses are kind of suffering for it. It's going to be a long one, and Richard immediately takes out PowerPoint.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about how good the ult usage from Team Rocket was on the first map, but that time around, they definitely did not have the ultimates. John Hawk caught in a trap, though, and they take advantage. Team Rocket able to take him down, so that's a huge damper to this push. They have a lot of ultimates, though. Perhaps Big Richard still wants to use the EMP. They're going pretty slow right now.
They're gonna want to save this nano coming up for Strozo. It's probably gonna be EMP nano blade, or not nano blade, nano visor.
Yeah, we'll see. Big Richard already getting pressured, though. Has to translocate away and goes down to not power point. Xlar using the tire is going to get taken down, but the picks are already clearly in favor of Team Rocket. And yeah, Diving Phoenix is just going to take that opportunity to back up for now.
Yeah, Diving Phoenix has a lot of time to work with, though. And you see how close they are. If they get the CMP is big with this visor, that's pretty much going to be the map right there. And all teams will have relatively even time banks.
Yeah, and almost goes down. Big Richard almost able to find that kill. Big Richard still has that EMP available, and Strozo finds the opening pick. That is exactly what you want to see. But with the Supercharger, it's looking like Diving Phoenix are playing this relatively slowly, but Xlar up on the high ground trying to take down Big Richard. Will lose that 1v1. Holy Chuckster has to be careful, got antied, but is able to get away. There's the Nano Tactical Visor. Is the EMP gonna come out as well? No, it might not even need it. Great pile drive. Yeah, great pile drive from John Hawk to get BX Hunter back in the line of sight of the Tactical Visor. Rally coming out from just Steph, not PowerPoint. Using the High Noon only takes down Steph, and the Diva Bomb from Holy Chuckster finds two, and they're not able to touch. It is an inferior time bank, but a great attack as well from Diving Phoenix, as both teams have 2 minutes plus in the time bank.
Yeah, this map right here, just both teams are just putting up insanely good offenses, but their defenses are pretty much lacking. Yeah. Team Rocket with those ults just wasn't making good calls with them.
It almost feels like both of these teams just on the offense just have that superior positioning. They're putting a lot of pressure onto these tank lines and forcing them into bad situations. And you know, it's going to be up to one of these defending teams to kind of hold their ground and find those picks and make sure that the attacking team isn't coming on those off angles. I think that is really what's been hurting this team so far, especially Team Rocket. They're letting Strozel get a lot of value on off angles. And as we see here, Diving Phoenix, they're going to run the comp that they just ran. They're feeling confident on it.
I think they look relatively decent. Richard has to just not get picked early. But there is no Widow and there is no Junkrat again on the side of outside of Team Rocket, so he should have a little bit more survivability. But this Torp turret is gonna be pretty annoying for him.
Interesting. We're actually gonna see and Professor Oak swap roles. And gonna go to the flex support and play some Baptiste. Professor Oak gonna go to main support and play the Mercy. It's interesting that they're running Mercy with this comp because it doesn't really feel like they have a lot to pocket, but that res will still be helpful on the defense.
Yeah, with this, you're just kind of just playing for the res, to be honest. The reason why you're playing the Mercy is just like your as your insurance. Oh, they catch up to Summer, though.
Nice, and yeah, they are able to capitalize, and now Diving Phoenix maybe gonna have to play a little slow. They're really wanting those hacks so that they can follow up on the dives, and I think they've been doing that pretty well so far, but obviously if you lose your Solver right away, that is tough.
Most of the times Richard has gone down is because he tries to take a fight and he stays there too long, and John Hawk goes onto the turret. It's going to set them back even farther.
And this is going to be, this is the adjustment that I think Team Rocket, it's good that they've made, you know, trying to run that more anti-dive with the Mei Torb. They have a lot of ways to shut this down, and yeah, John Hawk just going to immediately swap to the Reinhardt. Doesn't think they're going to get the value on the ball.
Richard's having such a hard time trying to get into this. Every time he tries to get close, XR and PowerPoint just spamming down the only hallway he can get through.
BX Hunter and Brow Daddy on the point, and uses the Immortality Field to save the tanks, and there's the Blizzard from Xlar. It's looking real good right now. Professor Oak gets the res onto BX Hunter. Nano, the baby diva, incredibly unfortunate, and with under 20 seconds to go, I don't know if this is going to be Diving Phoenix map, especially with Strozel getting staggered heavily. Is anyone else even going to be able to touch? Does look like the Rhine might be in position, as is just Steph on the Lucio. They do get the touch, but John Hawk already incredibly low, so is Steph. They go down instantaneously. PowerPoint using the Molten Core to force the members of Diving Phoenix off the point. The Diva Bomb only takes down the miscellaneous objects like the Supercharger and the turret. Strozel obviously not going to find anything with Attack Visor. EMP is massive, but it does not matter, as no one's going to be able to follow up. John Hawk is back, as is just Steph. If they can find any sort of picks, maybe it'll be turnable, but a great wall from Xlar forces John Hawk to not touch the point, and that will be the full hold here on round 3 for Team Rocket. So they just need the one tick, and they will take the 2-0 series lead.
Yeah, I think that was just a subpar attack from Diving Phoenix. Big Richard never found any opportunity to build the EMP, because there was just no angles for him to try and take, just to do some damage and build it. And that's already set them back.
And to be fair, you know, a lot of it was because Team Rocket swapped to that Torbjorn, so a great swap, yeah. And they played around it really well. Like, they even had a moment where Diving Phoenix did have some point presence, but a great immortality field coming out from And. It's interesting. It appears that And is their BAP player, because now And back on the Mercy, and Professor Oak going to keep playing the Ana, which they were playing for the most part on the attack. So interesting here that that Professor Oak does not play the Baptiste.
I mean, being flexible is, like, you know, like what everybody wants to have on their team, and you know, if both these players are comfortable with just swapping roles back and forth, then I mean, there's no reason to stop them, especially if they're feeling confident on it.
And to be fair, you know, Professor Oak has looked great on Ana this season. Of course, you want him to play his most confident hero, so now we'll see. It is going to be another dive composition coming out on the side of Team Rocket. This time with the Doomfist. Not PowerPoint, going to be on the Doomfist. We'll see if he can find
out the clock.
So, here we go. First dive attempt coming out from BX Hunter. Now PowerPoint also trying to dive in as well, but BX Hunter does go down. Now PowerPoint not able to find that opening pick right off the bat. He is still alive, though, getting some decent shielding. What's Nat? Not going to go down. Stays alive, and PowerPoint will go down here as well. Strozel doing a really good job on this Ashe. Gets 2 kills in that team fight, and there we go. Diving Phoenix also looking good on the defense here.
It's a very good first hold. Yeah, it's not much to say about it. PowerPoint goes over to the Soldier, goes off with Doomfist. He had a very long fight, or where he was trying to kill Nap, but just wasn't able to do it.
I will not waste this opportunity.
So now here we go. 1 minute remaining for Team Rocket. They have secured the draw, so they're not going to lose this map, but of course you'd be much happier to be up 2-0 in the series than remain 1-0. So here we go. They're going in. They're going to keep running on this dive. Big Richard getting close to that barrage, but so is Xlar. John Hawk going down, but Strozel does too. Brow Daddy, the res comes out from Professor Oak, and the dive attempt is looking good. John Hawk gets res as well, so it's very winnable. Big Richard has that barrage and takes Brow Daddy out of mech and kills Professor Oak. This is massive. Only 20 seconds to go and not going to be able to escape. And look at how close Team Rocket were to getting that tick they need. Is anyone going to be able to touch?
I don't think they can. Wait, hold on. Where are they at?
It's going to be close. Not PowerPoint. Running. Is going to touch.
Oh my God,
John Hawk does take down Xlar, though. All the ultimates coming out from both of these teams. Immortality field expended from What's Nat. Strozel finding 2 kills in this team fight. There's the Diva Bomb. Professor Oak is down. No hope for Team Rocket, as Xlar still a ways away, and that will be the draw being forced. And once again, this game, both of these teams evenly matched. But I mean, both of these maps could have gone either way.
Yeah, I agree. Richard just came up huge on that last fight.
Yeah, here's the blade, and yeah, that is textbook right there. Taking down the Baptiste, diving in on the Ashe, getting that kill as well, and that really was the nail in the coffin there for Diving Phoenix on their defense. But both teams able to hold on the extra rounds, so a draw will be what we see.
Next up, we have Hanamura. Both sides have been showing the double shield on these more static kind of points where you wanna hold them, or these capture points, excuse me. So I wonder if they're gonna run that back or what the plan is, because the dive looked relatively decent coming in from Team Rocket, and Hanamura is a map that you can play dive on and do relatively well with.
Teams are going to swap sides, so now this is going to be the chance for Diving Phoenix to maybe set a precedent on the time bank. You know, sometimes attacking first just gives you that momentum to start off the map. I mean, you could argue the same as defending first. You know, if you get the full hold, it's easy win. But I definitely, for me at least, I tend to prefer to attack first, honestly.
For me, it depends on the map I'm on. Anubis, I'd love defending first, but then like most of the other 2CP maps, I prefer attacking. Both sides had a pretty much subpar defense on that Numbani, so I would not be surprised if both teams just both attacks just go extremely well for both teams.
Well, unfortunately, our dream of getting a map 5 can only be seen if we do see another draw, which is funny. We have seen that in the past. We have seen a game where there was 2 draws and we ended up going to map 5 because the score was 1 to 1 to 2. Like, so it has happened before, and it's interesting. You know, I if any of you participate in fantasy, that is actually not an option for scores that you can pick, but we have seen but on that score sheet is also 2-0-2, so a team wins 2 maps and the other 2 are draws, or you have a team win 1 map and the other 3 are draws, including a incredibly rare draw on escort. So I think it's funny how there's 2 scores that we've never seen. We've never seen a 2-0-2 either. The only time that we've seen 2 draws in a single map was that map 5, and it's just funny that that isn't an option on the score or to choose on the fantasy rankings, because it's actually a score that we've seen.
It's just one of those incredibly rare things that pops up like once in a lifetime.
Yeah. Let's see. Gonna see Team Rocket. They are gonna continue with this tank line. They definitely keep this tank line pretty sacred. They'll sometimes bring in not PowerPoint to play some Hog, but I don't know if these are the strongest Hog maps in this rotation. So we will likely not be seeing that tonight. Perhaps on Junkertown. Haley is going to come in for XLAR. We're going to see Cat play their first map of the night. And I believe B-Ant, yep, will be. So Team Rocket changing their supports quite a bit here tonight, and to be fair, it makes sense. They currently have 5 support players here right now, so lot to go around. And you know, even BX Hunter has played support in the past. I don't expect him to this season just because they have so many support players, and him and Brow Daddy just have a brilliant rapport on their tank synergy. That's really been one of the biggest strengths of this Team Rocket team.
One of the weirdest things about like playing Overwatch in a league is that like you'll never find support or tank players in regular comp because everybody wants to play DPS, but like in any league you're in, there's always an excess of support and tanks and no DPS players.
I have a feeling it's partially because tanks and supports are more naturally drawn to leagues like this because their roles are so much more focused on team play. So it's possible that you know you get frustrated playing ranked as supports and tanks because it feels like you just can't climb because you know that your teammates just aren't particularly good. So you actually try and like, hey, I want to find a team. I want to get better at the team play. And so they find leagues like this, as you know. And as for DPS, you know, obviously there's plenty of DPS that want to play in league play as well. I mean, there's so many of them in this league as well. But I definitely think more people that play DPS are plenty interested in, you know, not necessarily calming, just playing, trying to get picks, you know, all that.
Yeah, I
good
think
stuff.
that's a fair. I think that's a fair assessment. I can't wait till Overwatch 2 comes out and nobody's gonna want to play tank.
Nah, man, it's possible that tank is gonna be even more fun because now they might have some more DPS potential.
Sombra rework with the Zen on your team? Oh, I don't know. On the other team? Oh, no. That's not fun.
We'll see. I actually do. I honestly do like both of the changes to the characters that we've seen. Bastion actually legitimately looks kind of fun to play now, and even Sombra. Like I like how they technically did kind of nerf the hack in a way, but they didn't completely take its ability to shut off enemy abilities. I think that is, you know, a fun way to kind of, you know, like comboing a hack with onto a Rhine with the Diva Bomb, or you know, hacking the McCree or a Sigma out of all. I'm glad they're still going to keep that, but it's definitely going to be a lot less punishing to get hacked. You know, you have no abilities for 5 or 6 seconds or whatever it is.
It's only 1 second after I remember, so like it's
what
a lot
1
harder-
second
a lot harder.
of no abilities.
Which I mean, in the game like Overwatch, where like microseconds matter, you know.
Oh yeah, it's still definitely
higher,
gonna be a big deal.
the biggest part is going to be that damage that you take from the Sombra, or is it just from the Sombra that does 40% more damage, or is it the entire team?
I'm not. I think it's just the Sombra, but I
Okay.
could be incorrect.
I think
I think it's like she has the passive now where she does 40% more damage to hack targets.
that makes
So
sense.
it's not gonna work like Discord. Okay, we do have swaps. This time we do have Diving Phoenix gonna bring in some of their other players. Unfortunately, Take the Strap's gonna still be on the bench. Great support player for them. Did really well in their first game. But I will say right now, What's Nat playing incredibly well. Has gotten cards for exceptional healing on both maps so far. Definitely playing really well, and it'll be interesting to see what they want to play with for Algatron in here as well. Maybe looking to play some double flex support, double shield spam comps, because for Algatron can play that Zen.
I think if a team is able to capitalize on the value that Zen can bring, especially in like T3, then they will absolutely start smoking everybody. Zen is just one of those kind of characters where if your team can play around him correctly, he's gonna hard carry you.
For those of you who have not been able to catch the other game going on right now, Sandbagging Smurfs versus Prestigious Noobs, it does look like Sandbagging Smurfs were able to win in a map 5, so incredibly close. That is technically their first real win of the season, because they did lose to Tater Tots, obviously, with their situation. That has been reversed, so they do have a win on the board now. So it's definitely a huge, gonna be a huge thing for Sandbagging Smurfs. Really struggled in the first 2 weeks, but hoping to bounce back. As for Prestigious Noobs, I think they've shown nice things here and there, but definitely a team that I think has a lot to. Both of the teams definitely have a lot to prove and work on and improve, but.
That's the whole point of these lower tiers where you build up to be able to work on your communication skills and your team playing skills. So to hopefully be able to be able to play in the tier 2 and 1 or tiers 1 and 2.
Just waiting on the ready for Diving Phoenix. I think they might be having some microphone issues, so hopefully they'll be able to get those sorted out here. It is unfortunate for Diving Phoenix, as it does appear that perhaps okay, so Rubber Duck is here now, but it does maybe appear that they will not have Ramen Hub available for tonight.
Well, that's unlucky, but I mean, their lineup is like relatively fine so far. So
Yeah, no, for sure, and it's always next man up mentality. It's just Ramen Hub has played incredibly well, and it's just tough when you lose or when you don't have a great player available. It's just like in other sports when your star player's down with injury. Yeah, like next man up mentality, and you got to find ways to win. But it is still kind of like, man, it's like, especially we don't know how much of a shot caller Ramen is. If that's a strength of this team, maybe they're missing some of that. You never know. Ooh, and we're actually going to see a bit of, no. This is the exact same lineup. It seemed that Chuck was possibly changing the lineup, and he posted like he did, but it's literally... Oh, no, it actually is not. We actually are going to see Take the Strap coming in for What's Nat. Okay,
okay. I don't know about this. Nat has been playing great so far, and I don't know about the switch.
Otherwise, they are ready to go. I believe that is correct. Yep. I thought maybe they were going to bring in Rubber Duck, but nope, they are going to continue with Strozel and Big Richard, which to be fair, Strozel especially has been playing really well tonight, but Big Richard making some plays here and there too. Struggled a little bit on the Sombra here and there, but also had some good plays on the Sombra. So that's been kind of the most interesting part of this game, I think, so far, is just these DPS. I felt like in your game as well, like the DPS matchup was what to watch. You and Cross, Strozel, and Big Richard just trading blows between the maps. It was incredibly intense, and now PowerPoint and Haley coming in, I expect no different on Hanamura.
Yeah, Strozel was just in our match. Strozel was like the biggest problem for us to deal with, especially when he was playing the Ashe. Like, oh man, it was a headache to deal with.
Yeah, Strozel definitely having a breakout season right now. Started off pretty late with We the Ops last season. I think only played like a game or two with them and didn't have as much time to show off their stuff that they had. And now is really getting that opportunity with Diving Phoenix, and yeah, they're looking real good right now.
I agree. I think if anybody's like probably Diving Phoenix a star player, I think Strozel makes a good case for it, especially at the moment.
We'll have to see. As good as their season has been so far for Diving Phoenix, they are currently behind right now. Team Rocket only 1-0-1. They did draw on Numbani. Here comes the teleporter strat from Big Richard, and they're just gonna teleport into their... the attacker's right. They're gonna try and take the high ground here, and now Team Rocket are gonna have to respond with this. Haley looking to maybe go behind them and try and spam up. Just have to be careful. Is already half health, and now another speed boost coming out from Feraligatron as another teleporter coming out from Big Richard. Immortality Field expended from Cat already. Here we go. And just immediately blew in the kill feed. Haley finds 2, and Browdaddy gets the accretion kill. Haley finding 3 picks in that team fight. And I have to imagine that perhaps the sim is not the play here with that Junkrat on the other side.
About to change right now. Looks like Richard's about to change at the moment. And it goes over to Jafara.
And definitely trying to take advantage of the Junkrat, but it is going to be tough with the Ashe in play, especially an Ashe like not PowerPoint, like so good on that hit scan. Really going to have to be careful, but Strozel able to find that nice headshot onto Haley, and I don't know if Beant is going to safely be able to get that res. So now Diving Phoenix going aggressive here. John Hawk and Lido already kind of low, but they are able to take down the tanks, and this is looking like Diving Phoenix's fight to lose as they're looking pretty healthy on point. Cat does go down, Beant not able to get the res, and that's going to be point A being captured on the side of Diving Phoenix.
Not only they left PowerPoint alive back there.
Oh, is not PowerPoint alive?
Yeah, PowerPoint
He
and
is.
Bob. Oh,
Decides... I think was maybe considering the recontest, maybe to throw Bob on point. I don't know.
I think it was right play. Like, there's no way you even close to follow up on it, Bob.
Yeah. And they got the incredibly quick spawn, so nothing will be harmed here. There's the Shatter coming out from Lido. Gravitic Flux also coming down from Browdaddy, but the Immortality Field has been expended on both sides. Pin coming out from Lido, able to take down PowerPoint, but it is Haley getting 2 picks in this team fight. Well, at least 1.5, getting John Hawk out of mech. And with the res onto PowerPoint, it's going to be tough. And Haley coming in from behind, able to find that pick. Richard able to trade, but I don't know, with the spawn advantage, I think Diving Phoenix are going to be best suited to back up for now.
Yeah, you lose part of your biggest DPS in Richard. You got to reset here. They have so many both sides with so many ultimates.
Yeah, we'll see. Haley can immediately put a big disadvantage in this team fight, though, by getting a tire that gets multiple people. It could force out the Immortality Field as well. Big Richard already taking down Haley. And the Immortality Field, just, it's a little too far. It doesn't save the tanks. Now PowerPoint still on the other side, getting the pocket. John Hawk trying to contest there, and here's the tire coming out from Haley. There's the Immortality Field. Take the strap, has used it. Here comes Haley finding it! Oh my goodness, it had just ran out, the Immortality Field. Unfortunate break there for Diving Phoenix, as it is going to be the stabilization coming out on the side of Team Rocket.
They used every ultimate they had except for the supercharger. They got nothing for it. That's incredibly unlucky. You know, you see a lot of changes coming in.
No, well, it's the opposite. Diving Phoenix used all their ults, and it was the ultimates on the side of Team Rocket that are getting the value, not PowerPoint getting the opening pick. That's brutal, because they're Strozel has that Blizzard. Diving Phoenix definitely looking for that Blizzard team fight, so Now they're just gonna have to sit around. They have to be careful. Not or PowerPoint's still trying to find those pickoffs. And yeah, he's actually gonna try and go for the stagger here onto Strozel.
There's nobody really super able to contest him either. Like Richard has to land like a skill shot to take him out. Other than that, it's gonna be up to John Hawk to try and get to them.
Now here we go. Not PowerPoint and Big Richard trading shots. Big Richard is looking pretty good on this Hanzo right now. Already has another Dragon's almost built up, and Strozel going down again. I mean, this is the last thing you want if you're diving Phoenix. I mean, you're just biding your time and just letting Team Rocket continue to build up ultimates.
Yeah, the only ultimate they used there was the Supercharger. Lido getting hacked, taking a lot of damage. He was really good, building up the CMP pretty fast overall, already at 75.
Luckily, he's going to be able to make it back to the team. And yeah, like, look at this. Haley already building up that EMP. That's a huge win condition for Team Rocket right now. As now, Diving Phoenix are going to try and go down main. Here they go. They have the point presence, and they're throwing the Blizzard right now. Bob comes out from PowerPoint. Already gets frozen by the Blizzard. Both Immortality Fields expended. And there's a nice EMP from Haley. Is it going to be enough, though? Beant gets the res onto BX Hunter, so still a lot up for grabs. John Hawk not going to use the self-destruct to remech and is going to go down, and that is going to be another team fight victory here for Team Rocket.
At the very least, they do get a tick off of that fight. Solo. A draw is pretty much not possible now.
Barring that they don't capture
Yeah.
the rest of point B, and it is definitely going to be a tough ask. They do have the ultimate advantage, though. It's just going to be up to making sure they don't get immediately picked, but Cat using the amplification matrix, that's a good start. There's the shatter. It takes down Cat, and now they're going aggressive. Haley is able to take down for Algatron, and now Brow Daddy using the Flux. It finds two! Absolutely fantastic Flux. Diving Phoenix do get an additional tick, though, so not the worst thing in the world, but it is going to be the point B defense coming out from Team Rocket, and they have the clear win condition to take the series.
That was a very good defense overall on second point. Once you have those respawns coming in, it's so hard to complete the map.
And just overall, like, Team Rocket playing really well around their win conditions. This was a great EMP from Haley in that second-to-last fight. Great Gravitic Flux from Brow Daddy in that final team fight. Like, this is definitely more the ult uses that we saw on the first map as opposed to the second map where they were kind of throwing them a little willy-nilly, not getting the huge amount of value. Not every ult on Numbani that Team Rocket used was bad, but it definitely felt like
there's some that went to waste. There's a handful that went to waste that could have turned fights. I think the biggest problem there was that nobody was contesting PowerPoint. Like, he had that high ground on the top right, just nobody even looked at him.
And yeah, you know, John Hawk was playing the D.Va and did try to dive that Ashe a couple times, but just with that constant pocket, it's so hard for just the D.Va to find the picks. And you know, I was watching both, you know, PowerPoint. I guess I wasn't spectating Richard a whole lot, but Richard was hitting shots onto PowerPoint, just not the finishing blows, not able to find those headshots. And unfortunate, one of those picks certainly could have turned the fight around.
I agree. So again, another sim strat they're coming out from Team Rocket.
Yep, and Diving Phoenix. Yep, Diving Phoenix already taking note of this. They have the positioning on the high ground, but here we go. Beant on that Lucio, so Team Rocket definitely have the faster composition, and a great wall onto Lido. Immortality Field needing to be used, but the wall blocks its line of sight, so Lido will go down anyway. The X-Hunter getting the pin onto Feraligatron. And that
was such a fast point.
Yeah. Incredibly fast point A. They are going to have over 6 minutes to get the 2 ticks they need on point B. This is looking real dire right now for Diving Phoenix.
I'm gonna go straight across to the left side now. Making a bid straight for points. Shows him was over to the Junkrat though.
The X-Hunter is going to go ahead and pin right in aggressive. They kind of want it now. And with Cat getting close to that amplification matrix, they might be able to take it. Freeze onto Lido. Both of the tanks incredibly low. This is looking so good. Photon Barrier coming out from Haley. Brow Daddy, 3 picks in this team fight. He continues to dominate on the Sigma. Amplification matrix is ready if they need it. John Hawk does use the Gravitic Flux, but it's not finding anything. Lido gonna go down. The Sim Beam is just too much, and that will be Team Rocket taking the map as well as taking the series 2-0-1. We will still play the final map for map differential purposes, however.
That map was not even close.
Yeah, I mean that attack was. I mean, basically in any percent speed run there on Hanamura for Team Rocket there. They looked real good. And, but it's kind of interesting seeing Team Rocket play some double shield here. Maybe playing into what Diving Phoenix like to play. They've played a lot of double shield this season, and looked like yeah, but Team Rocket were like, hey man, we can do this too, and they looked good on the defense, and they played more of that brawl double shield with the Reinhardt and playing with the Sim Mei, and they pulled it off to a T.
That might have been one of the fastest Hanamura maps I've ever seen.
So, Diving Phoenix obviously gonna suffer their first loss of the season, but luckily they're I do believe their map map differential's not too bad right now, sitting at a +4. If they're able to win this final map, they only lose 1 map, so they'll like in terms of map differential, so they'll be looking pretty good still in that regard. And I still think this is a really strong team. Like we said, this is literally the 2nd place team versus the 3rd place team. In fact, this is a battle between 2 of the 3 teams that have a positive map differential. So,
but like this map might have just exposed a lot of like weaknesses going on within Diving Phoenix, as well as like a loss like that where you kind of got smoked throughout the majority of the set. Like that's a hit to the pride, and it really like just shows how far apart the 2nd and 3rd place teams are.
To be fair, Diving Phoenix have not been strong on 2CP maps. They did lose the 2CP map in their first game against Prestigious Noobs, and they also lost up 2CP, obviously, to you guys, that crazy Volskaya Industries game.
2CP is one of those map types that can trip up a lot of people.
Obviously, it appears to be they struggle with defense. Obviously, on 2CP, obviously giving up 4 points to you guys in your game, and then now giving up a borderline world record speed on Hanamura here. Like, that's definitely hopefully what they're going to be looking at in practice for this next week, is looking to clean up those defenses and make sure that they can avoid those big rolls, as it just makes it so much harder on you.
I think if they're able to clean up those defenses, like they're legitimately in contention for like probably the best team at the moment. But like those defenses are just killing them at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, Team Rocket is right there in terms of best teams as well. So this is gonna be far from a low quality loss. I mean, this, if anything, this is gonna be a quality loss that you're gonna be like, maybe if they get 3-0-1 here, maybe it'd be like, well, are they truly gonna be able to keep up with the top tier? But if they're able to win this final map 2-1-1, you look at how close, especially Numbani was, and how winnable Busan was. I mean, you're talking like it's not that far away from possibly being on the other foot, where we're talking about Diving Phoenix continuing to be strong. And if this team does play again, perhaps in the playoffs, who knows at that point. Sure, going to see Rubber Duck come in for one map and has had some really great moments so far. I do not believe, yeah, he did not play in your guys's in the game against Cosmic Omnics. So
Yeah,
obviously,
maybe not.
not that they've been lacking on DPS. Strozel and Big Richard have been playing quite well tonight, but Rubber Duck does bring like a tracer to the mix. I think does play a little bit more of that dedicated hit scan. So looks like we're actually going to see Haley come in and play some tank here. That is what they do that pretty frequently, where they'll bring in Haley to maybe play some wrecking ball on these escort style maps. Of course, we'll be heading to Havana. I will change that map in a brief moment.
Okay, this is the map I expect to see like just an insane Widow duel. Strohs was looking really good on the Ash, but I want to see if his Widow like his spot is good.
Okay, you just want to give one more check to make sure the lineups are correct. Yep, Brownie, Power Rappy, Cat, and Professor Oak. Perfect. Okay. So whenever they are ready, we will head into this final map. Again, some stuff to play for here on the. If Diving Phoenix were to win this map, 2-1-1, that's literally like one of the best case scenarios for your map differential, only losing one. So
Worst case scenario though, they go down 2 maps and they start to look a lot more like a mid card team compared to the first two, the first and second place.
yeah, it's definitely interesting right now. There is a 4 map swing riding on this game, riding on this map. So definitely some big reasons to win this. I mean, either they're gonna lose, or okay, no, only I guess only a two, yeah, only a 2 map swing. But like, still, it's the difference between -1 and -3 is certainly huge.
I definitely get the impression that Diving Phoenix is more of like the how would I say, more like the gatekeeping team, if that makes sense. Like they're like the difference between being able to compete against the top teams and not, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna hold out on that take. I think this team is definitely a lot better with Ramen in the lineup. I think, especially just considering his performance last week, like he's just
Mm.
one of the emerging Reinhardts this season. I think they have missed his presence a little bit tonight. So
Well, I mean, that would be a fair assessment, but they didn't really play any Reinhardt. It, a lot of what they stuck to was like the dive or the double shield. Maybe it's because Ramen wasn't here.
he kind of was playing mostly the Rhine though on those control maps. I'm pretty sure he played Ryan for most of those 2 maps. Still waiting on the readies. Yeah, we've definitely had some interesting games tonight so far. Obviously, I was just involved in the Pizza Planet Tater Tots game, but it was a really good bounce back for Pizza Planet. Their win 3-1, including they were up 3-0 and they did lose that final map. They did almost win it though, so they almost got the 4-0. But there were some moments where Taters they looked solid on a couple of those maps, but definitely still trying to improve. Pizza Planet certainly still looking like one of the stronger teams. As for the other side, we already kind of talked about Sandbagging Smurfs versus Prestigious News, but Sandbagging Smurfs getting a huge win that'll hopefully give them some momentum heading into the kind of the second half of the season. We're almost about halfway through the season right now, after week 4.
Oh, are we already?
I mean, yeah, it's about a 9-week season. I mean, maybe if you want to consider like week 5 the halfway point, considering that those final 4 games are the more stressful and impactful games. So, but still, I mean, we're definitely already past a third of the way through the season. So, you know, like, since this is such a short season, you know, you're gonna want to get that momentum sooner rather than later.
It's crazy how fast the weeks just fly by.
Yeah. I actually do not mind the quicker schedule too. Like it definitely has been a lot for Stream Team, and it's definitely tough because you can only really schedule, like, at least feels like realistically you can only schedule like 1 scrim per week. At least that's for Pizza Planet. But I don't know. I like how it keeps the season moving. No one's experiencing burnout. We're really, you know. It's kind of nice, actually, to have a quick season.
On the other hand, like, a slightly longer season also, like, allows teams that were kind of, let's say, having trouble in the beginning of the season, but, like, start to get their stuff together later on. It really helps.
Yeah,
figure out
that is true. But could you spin it the other way? That with this shorter season, it's like, maybe it's a little bit more honest in the sense, like, hey, you gotta make your adjustments as soon as you can, as we do see PowerPoint getting the headshot kill onto Strozel, finds another pick onto Lido. I mean, PowerPoint, what can you say about him at this point? I mean, he just continues to be probably the best Widowmaker in Tier 3.
I firmly believe that I am the best hit scan in Tier 3, and, you know, I want to go against him and see what happens with it.
We do see Rubber Duck getting the pick onto Rappy, so this is a good chance for Diving Phoenix to come back into it, but PowerPoint finding that pick. Algatron getting the res, however. So it's going to be about a 6v6 coming up here on the point. Rappy is back. Good anti from Take the Strap onto Haley, and they do take advantage of that. Yeah, Strozel not wanting to, you know, be outdone by PowerPoint, showing that he has a lot of hit scan prowess as well. Another good anti, this time from, or once again from Take the Strap, as that will be a good stabilization from Diving Phoenix.
It's a good recovery from it. Now PowerPoint's the Ash.
So we get to see an Ash battle, although for Algatron currently on that Mercy, so Strozel kind of has that pocket, but Strozel finding the headshot once again onto Rappy. He continues to just play so well right now. It's a great DPS battle, and Strozel taking down PowerPoint as well. Already almost has that Bob available, and a great Dynamite should get the rest of the Bob that they need. Diva Bomb being used by Holy Chuckster, but it's not going to get a whole lot more of a zoning alt, as we do see. Both teams still... Oh my god! He just keeps getting these picks.
He has killed Rappy every single time without Shatter gets pretty much rocked.
Professor Oak Professor Oak using the nano onto Haley, but Strozel building up that Bob already has 2 picks. The tanks are going aggressive though. Lido with some nice healing output from both of the supports. Rappy not gonna find anything on the pulse bomb.
Gets caught up by
Oh my goodness. Strozel just continuing to look so good here on that Ashe.
That is
and
5 kills. He has...
And now Rappy's going to the to the Reaper. I don't know if that's gonna help more than the Tracer. You think the Tracer would be the pick to possibly cause pressure on the Ashe, but no, Strozel shutting that down, and only 60 seconds remaining for Team Rocket. They're kind of at a loss right now. They have the sound barrier coming up though.
That's all they have. Oh, and the Shatter. They have the sound barrier and the Shatter.
Great ante from Haley, but the Shatter coming out from Lido puts a couple of members of
Oh, the Shatter's big though.
that's a good Shatter coming out from Haley as PowerPoint finds that opening pick. Still some ultimates to be used on the side of Diving Phoenix, but it does look like they might just go ahead and give this up. Rubber Duck elects to not use the tack visor.
Yeah, it did a relatively good job holding without it. Or wait, no, I lied. Sorry. Holding it was the correct play. It was already a lost team fight at that point.
A lot of ultimates once again coming online for Diving Phoenix. Let's see if Holy Chuckster wants to initiate with a bomb here now that they have it. Ante coming out from Professor Oak, but Strozel finds that opening pick onto Haley. Now PowerPoint also getting very close to that tactical visor. Lido does go down. Both of the tanks out right now. Oh no, Holy Chuckster slept up and getting the Diva Bomb. That is brutal coming out on the side of Brow Daddy. And here we go. PowerPoint using the tactical visor takes down for Algatron and Strozel. And another teamfight victory here for Team Rocket.
They still have this nano, they're about to have the Shatter, and they're pretty much coming up on this Death Blossom also. So they definitely have the tools to win. If you could clean this up and take the second point.
We'll see if Take the Strap wants to use the nano boost onto the Ryan. No is actually gonna nano the Mechless Diva. Unfortunate mistake there. Professor Oak now gonna use his nano boost onto the Reaper, going for the Beyblade right there. And Rubber Duck still not using this tack visor, maybe holding on to it for a little bit too long.
And they're on the third point with the rush for deep time. 2.5 is probably on the higher end of time banks for Rana.
So now Haley once again building up the Shatter, but Lido will be there as well. But Strozel going to be the one to initiate this team fight with an ultimate, throwing out the Bob. Haley is going to have to be careful, but Team Rocket are able to kite that. Brow Daddy does go out of mech though, so I feel like if any a time to use the tack visor, it is now for Rubber Duck, with Brow Daddy not going to be able to eat it, but is still holding on to it. And there's the Shatter come out for Holy Chuckster, but the counter from Lido is there, and finally Rubber Duck is using the tactical visor. Takes
gets out of the
oh, that is brutal. Cat trying to use the sound barrier in order to counteract that tack visor, but Rubber Duck finally gets the value they were looking for out of it. And that will be the stabilization from Diving Phoenix. Brow Daddy throwing in his Diva Bomb. It finds 3! Great throw from Brow Daddy. And that's the go button coming out from Team Rocket. PowerPoint has that tactical visor, doesn't even need it for now. It's almost a team kill on the side of Team Rocket. Perhaps they're going to combo the... We'll see. Nano Boost coming online for Take the Strap as well, so we'll see who these Annas want to nano. I assume that Professor Oak might nano, not PowerPoint, to get that nano visor online. Lido coming in. Both of the nanos are out. Both are onto DPS, and yes, it does go onto PowerPoint from Professor Oak. It actually went onto Rubber Duck on the side of Diving Phoenix, but it's not going to move the needle as PowerPoint was able to get 3 kills with that tactical visor. Rappy also kind of in the back line here trying to find the picks as the Reaper. There's the Shatter coming out from Lido. It's not going to find anything. Death Blossom to try and clean it up. Holy Chuckster slept on point and will get antied. Not going to survive for too much longer. Diving Phoenix are going to be able to bring this into overtime, however, but both of the supports are down. I don't think anyone else is going to be able to touch. Yeah, that's all 3 points being captured on the side of Team Rocket.
And honestly, just completing Havana is a task in and of itself. So, you know, very well played on the side of Diving Phoenix.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you always are happy with the completion on Havana, but we'll see both of these teams favoring the attack right now, so Diving Phoenix could just as easily complete the map as well.
Ready for battle.
Looks like we might be seeing some double shield coming out on the side of Team Rocket with the Widowmaker. Once again, PowerPoint looking to find the value. It looks like we might see a bit of a dive comp coming out from Diving Phoenix, kind of like what they were running on Numbani, except this time with the Zenyatta.
And for Alakatron was talking about playing the Zen, but now it's time. Now, like, it's his chance to play it. See if he can get anything done with it. This is gonna be kind of a nuisance for him now.
Name of the game for Diving Phoenix here is going to be Rubber Duck finding those hack targets and following up on them. For Algatron is definitely going to have to be careful. Not PowerPoint certainly is very deadly against the immobile supports. Looking good so far for Team Rocket. Rubber Duck did try and find that hack target. Holy Chuckster was slept up for a brief moment. They are diving on not PowerPoint right now, and they do find the pick onto Professor Oak, which is what they want to see, but PowerPoint wins the assault rifle 1v1 versus Rubber Duck, and it does look like slowly but surely Team Rocket are turning this team fight around, as there's really only a Holy Chuckster here, and he's incredibly low health. He's going to be able to get away, but that's going to be it for the team fight for now.
Widow 76 strikes again.
Yes, yes. You love to see it.
Oh, PowerPoint taking a very aggressive position. He gets rewarded for it.
So we're going to go ahead and swap off of the Zen Tracer. Now they're kind of in a weird middling comp where, like, you have the Sombra. Okay, yeah, they're making full sweeping changes. See if Holy Chuckster also wants to swap off the ball. Now going for maybe a little bit more of a brawl comp.
So I like the changes. The problem I have is that they're on dash with the Mercy Pocket, but even with the pocket, she still doesn't want to tap Widow at, like, in their respective ranges on this map.
Yeah, now PowerPoint using the sights here, able to take down Holy Chuckster, and both of these DPS finding several picks. For Algatron in a little bit of trouble, though, is going to go down.
It runs to their spawn. You don't see this position of Widow at all.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Diving Phoenix really struggling for an answer against this PowerPoint Widow. Looking for the picks, finds the headshot onto Rubber Duck. You love to see it. PowerPoint continuing to show this Widow prowess. Strossel, though, going to try and find those picks as well on the Ashe. A lot of ultimates on the side of Team Rocket though, 4 in the bank, and Holy Chuckster going down. The Nano is onto Lido, but as he was antied, he's not going to get that healing, and is going to go down as soon. Wow. They just have so much confidence in PowerPoint that they're going to Nano boost him.
He's running at them. Instant respawn.
Oh. He does finally go down, and Chuckster, using the mines, is able to take down Rappy. Maybe a little bit of showboating on the side of PowerPoint and Team Rocket as they are losing this team fight. A couple of picks do go in their favor, but I think at the end of the day, the positioning and whatnot are just too much for Team Rocket to overcome. But here comes the Molten Core coming out from Rappy. Does go down to Strozel. Only 30 seconds though. Oh, not PowerPoint. 2 picks, exactly what you want to see, and gets the kill onto Rubber Duck. Oh my god! Not PowerPoint. Unbelievable plays here. Turned that team fight around almost by himself. Have yourself a game, good sir. And that is going to be it. An overtime will be initiated. I don't think anyone else is going to be able to touch. Rubber Duck might be able to. Nope. That will be the 3-0-1 for Team Rocket as they get a pretty big statement win tonight.
PowerPoint, oh my god, calm down, they have families.
And is it what we're, yeah, it looks like that's what we're gonna see here. Yep. Oh, I didn't even get to see the first one. Boom. And then, watch this. Boom! Nerves of Steel there. Gets the kill on the Resing Mercy. Just, yeah. PowerPoint, it was tough last season because it felt like, he was kind of in and out of the lineup, kind of playing, some tank here and there. So it was tough. I wasn't sure for me, like, if I could truly call him one of the best, or one of the DPS MVPs of last season, just because he wasn't playing it as much. But now this season, committing a lot more to that DPS, he definitely is already in the early conversation for that. He has been one of the best DPS in the tier since Season 2, and just continues to show it.
I want to play against him.
Yeah, that would be a great battle to see.
See, now I gotta look. When do we play Team Rocket? Let's find out. Oh, we got him next week. Oh, yes.
So Team Rocket versus Cosmic Omnix next week. That should be a good battle. Obviously you guys were almost able to beat Diving Phoenix, so by looking at it from that perspective, should be able to maybe keep it close against Team Rocket. But
no, we're gonna win against Team Rocket. That's what you mean to say. No, but yeah, it's gonna be a very good game.
We'll see the MVP nominations from these teams.
If PowerPoint is not up there, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm already kind of leaning towards Mr. PowerPoint for DPS. He really had an exceptional game tonight.
Just a feel that nobody contesting him at all, basically. I gotta step away for 2 seconds.
No problem. Okay, yeah, so a lot of these really playing out like I was expecting. PowerPoint and Brow Daddy getting the nominations. I definitely feel like you have to give it to those two. They had standout performances today. Brow Daddy, especially on Hanamura, just doing so much work on Sigma, but even in the first two maps, finding a lot of great plays. Had a great Diva Bomb there on Havana. Definitely feeling the Brow Daddy tank MVP PowerPoints. I mean, what more can you say about him? I think he deserves DPS MVP. We do see the MVPs nominated coming out from Team Rocket are Strozel and Nat, and that is definitely the players that I would pick from Diving Phoenix as well. And I actually am tempted to go with What's Nat. I think they played really well. So, as soon as my co-host gets back to see if he agrees with me, I'm definitely feeling a Brow Daddy PowerPoint What's Nat MVP lineup for tonight.
I have returned.
Okay, so we got the nominations. Diving Phoenix nominated the obvious two, Brow Daddy and not PowerPoint, and I feel like it's impossible to argue against those two players. They played so well. Team Rocket, they nominated Strozel and What's Nat, and I think those are definitely the standout players from Diving Phoenix. And I am thinking about giving What's Nat the MVP tonight for support. I think they played really well in the first two maps.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
pretty easy MVPs tonight. And to be fair, Team Rocket they had a lot of swapping in and out of their supports. I think Professor Oak played well once again. He's already got 2 MVPs. I thought Cat came in and played pretty well. Pretty much every support on Team Rocket played well, but I definitely think What's Nat really was playing that type of support that I felt elevated the team, really building a lot of amplification matrixes, really good immortalities, just insane healing output. Definitely feeling a What's Nat support MVP, Brow Daddy tank, and PowerPoint DPS.
Yep, easiest MVP nominations I've ever had.
Yeah, definitely had some standout performances. And let's go ahead and ask these teams want to do interviews. It is getting pretty late, but still fun to get some insight from the teams. We'll see. I guess I should possibly phrase my message as a question. Yeah, okay, it looks like Team Rocket want to come in for the interview, so let's go ahead and we're going to get 3 people in this interview. Now a whole round table discussion. There is one.
Hello.
Hello, BX Hunter. I will say what I want to say to you when Haley and Brow get in here, and yes, here they are. Just need to join the voice channel. Just waiting for Brow.
I think they're stuck in team chat. I had them playing map.
Okay.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
Of course, gotta go with that signature catchphrase after the big win. Congratulations to you guys, Team Rocket. 3rd consecutive victory, bouncing back really nicely after that week 1 loss. And right now, I think that's my first question for you: is what lessons do you think you kind of learned from that loss to Nova, and how have you applied it to improving these past few weeks and getting back? I think you're going to be in 2nd place now.
Yeah, I think we are in second place now, especially since we just took down
Yep, yep, yep.
TP. I can, I guess, start it off. That loss to Nova was unfortunate. You know, there was the whole issue with the maps on map 3, getting
Yes,
flipped out of
obviously
there.
that
So
was a fluky
it
thing.
threw
Yeah.
us off in there. But you know, this core has been playing together for a long time now. So we kind of just went back on playing what we're good at. You know, I don't think we've also like scrimmed in like 3 weeks either. So we're kind of
Yeah,
just
what
like
a
playing
random
together
time.
and just gonna. Yeah, it's somehow working for us though. So
Anyone
Yeah,
else
I
want?
think
Yep.
another thing probably would be, I mean, looking back at that game versus Nova, I feel like we were running some interesting things, some interesting comps, and I think like as we said, like we know what we're good at, and we
hmm
know like what this core can do. So like going back to like what we know we're good at, and refiguring out how to best run those things. I think the last few weeks have been proof of just that, of how good we can be when we are just sticking to what we do best.
hmm
Anything to add, Haley?
Uh, I don't. Not off of what they just said about that question.
What about Eldon? I heard Eldon in the background. Does Eldon have anything to say?
He's just squeaking along. He just wants to be included. That's
He's happy
really
that
all
we.
he ever wants to do. Yeah.
So my next question is for you about the pregame process. What were the strategies coming in playing against Diving Phoenix? You know, what were you looking for, specific matchups, all that good stuff.
I think it's just a combination of the same old. We play what we're good at, but then we gotta see what their strengths are, and then kind of
hmm
guess that they're gonna do the same thing. Like I would assume if we play something in a scrim, then we're probably gonna try to playing that in the game. But that's just practice makes perfect sort of stuff. So just knowing their strong players, knowing they're exploiting it or working that sort of mindset we've got.
Believe you're cutting out a little bit,
Yeah.
Haley. If
That
if
is no bueno. Where did I?
I think you should take whatever you just said and just repeat all of it.
Let me think here. Okay, yeah. So we I'd say we work more towards our strength more than anything, rather than playing against the other team first. I'd say we play us first, and then we try to
hmm
rework a little bit if we need to. I'd say more so the enemy team's weaknesses, and then knowing their strengths as well. So we try to kind of adjust little micro adjustments, like let's do this versus like, hey, this map we've run dive, or this map we run brawl, kind of thing. Like we'll try to stick to that, but then think like they play heavy sim comp, so we'll adjust for a sim comp sort of stuff. So,
hmm
not that they play heavy sim comp, but the learning from other teams, team comps to adjust for our own play.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. It also helps. I think we're also like we try to be flexible within the games as well. Like we'll play to our strengths, but you know we can play the brawl if we need to play the dive on a map. Like we can switch in during the game, and then again we've been playing together for a long time, so we kind of know when we need to switch together and you know what we need to win that map in that moment. So
Yeah. So my next question for you is I guess I have. We'll ask this one first. I mean, on your Hanamura attack, I mean, go through that really quickly. I wanna hear it in the mind of
If
you
I can be
guys.
blunt, because I like to be, especially now. I think I've learned over the last few months that I'm sick of being a little cautious. I said that we know that we can run the Sim way better than they did, and we proved just that. And we didn't have to make any switches at all. And like I think the defense with a few couple close moments, we gave up that second tick when we definitely didn't want to. But even then, like I think we're all pretty confident that like Haley and Power, like Power is just so flexible on anything that like
hmm
that Hunter and I can like play the double shoulder. We can go the ball, or we can go the Sigma Ryan, and then like have anyone on support. But like, that speed's so crucial. But like we just like we were just confident that we can do it better than they did, and we did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we knew which direction we wanted to go and rotate into that point. So like you said, we knew. I think we had like more of a set game plan for what they were running as well against it. They kind of went like a whole rotation on it, and by the time they were all like ready to set up, we were kind of prepared and ready to engage while we try to go for a different route. So yeah, we were very confident in what we were able to do there. And once we took point A, it was kind of just like the snowball into point B.
Yeah, I mean, how much time in the time bank would you have guys had? Like 5.5 minutes? It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, my next question for you guys is, obviously, you draw on Numbani, and then even Busan was close, but then the other two maps weren't as close. Do you think there was some adjustments that you guys made between, especially Numbani and Hanamura, that you felt really helped you, like, get over that hump and truly start to really beat Diving Phoenix?
I think that'll be more of a Hunter Brow question, just because I wasn't in the first two.
That's very true. That's probably why we
If
needed
you want to
Haley
take
in.
map one,
Hey!
hey, look at that. Just kind of.
Obviously, you need your carrion, yeah.
No, keep me around.
Control maps in general can always, in my opinion, go very back and forth. We started out on downtown to try to run with the dive, but kind of switched immediately over to more of like a brawly comp to handle that. And once we switched over to that, it kind of helped out. I think just like in general, controls can just like go back and forth. I think we also ended up being 99-99 on maybe both maps. But we just wanted to have like a strong start as possible and at least get the map wins out there. So at least for map 1, I felt that way. Yeah, Brow, you can definitely answer for map 2.
Yeah, I
our
think
thought process there.
when maps are that close, I think it really just comes down to clutch plays. I mean, like we're like probably what 32 point something percent to capping that one tick on Numbani. But I think the main thing, at least for like our defense on Numbani, was like figuring out like after. Like I'll say, we got a little bit snowballed on those first 2 points.
That dive was very nice from them.
Yeah, like they set up well. It's making those micro adjustments mid game of like we need to be doing this, like we need to change this, like we have to be here. Like I think Hunter does such a good job with that in particular, being like our main tank, and I'll say like the absolute best main tank, and maybe so far this season the best player in tier 3. This dude has absolutely turned it up, and it's kind of crazy to see and play with. But yeah, I think like those calls in particular, while we're mid map and like going like in between like where we capped all the way and then they capped all the way, like okay, like we need like there's no like we hack, there's like we can like we need to do this, and I think they did a good job setting up on that first point on our OT push. Just hats off to them. But I think like when maps are close like that, it comes down to like really good game plans and clutch plays and team fights.
Yeah,
Also,
that's
Larry, XLR also really popped on that first map, and that really helped us a lot.
Yeah, he had some pretty crazy plays, yeah.
He really clutched it up for us on that first
What was it, like a
Especially on downtown.
quintuple kill
something like that.
on Mecha Base, yeah. So I only have one more question for you guys, but Kanade, do you have anything that you wanted to ask?
I had a question more, so it can be the last question. It's something for future.
Okay, well that's partially what my question is going to be. Is we're looking ahead to the future where Team Rocket, you're going to be battling Cosmic Omnix. You got one of your opponents right here in the group. So, what are you looking forward to in that game?
I'm looking forward to winning.
Before you answer, I am the best player in tier 3. That's all I'm saying. So,
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
We'll see.
Ooh, already getting a little spicy.
I don't know, man. My dog says nah, dude.
It's on the Cat's revenge game, Cat's return game.
Ooh, yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
Keep all I'm saying is keep Cat in all the maps, and she's gonna get smoked. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh,
all
already getting some
see what happens.
getting some trash talk in here. You love to see it, but
Good luck on your game tomorrow.
is Is that
Yeah.
kind of what you were going to ask, Kanade, or do you have another question?
No, that's pretty much what I was gonna ask.
Okay. Well, I think that will be it for the Team Rocket interview. Thank you guys for coming along, and
Thanks
once
for
again,
casting, guys.
yep, of course,
Thanks for casting.
congratulations
Thank you.
on your victory.
Thanks,
Thank you. Have a
guys.
good night, Chad.
Have a good night.
I'm going.
There he goes. Okay, and we do. Diving Phoenix did want to join for the interview, and they said Strozel and John Hawk. I cannot invite John Hawk, unfortunate. There is Strozel, and I need to let you know that I cannot invite John Hawk as of right now. So.
I got it. Let me go ahead.
I assume he's in a group or something.
I gotcha. No worries.
Hello, John Hawk and Strozel. Thank you
How's
for...
it going?
Not too bad. Thank you for joining us for this interview. Unfortunate that you could not get the victory tonight, but still some good plays here and there. And my first question...
So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, no, it still is definitely a quality loss. You've definitely lost to one of the best teams. My first question is how were you kind of preparing for this team? Like, what were you looking forward to? Like, certain matchups and team composition things that you were hoping to run? Like, what... Take us into the mind of the pre-game process.
We had everything lined up, but we had unfortunate events with some other players that we had. But I'd still say that it was just untimely with some of the stuff that we had. With the coming into this, we were looking at like the main tank focus and PowerPoint. PowerPoint played really well tonight, and I was really surprised by that.
Strozel, anything to add?
No, pretty much what John said. Some teammate malfunctions with Rama not showing up kind of threw some lineups out of the whack, but but also too just making sure we could try to run things as best as we could. And then, yeah, like PowerPoint did pretty well too. And then, I don't know how to say the name, but the Junk also played really well. XLAR, Zlar, or whatever.
Yeah, XLR, yeah. He was good on Busan there.
Yeah.
My next question for you is, just kind of looking at some of the maps from an in-game perspective, like what do you think are some of the main things that you need to improve on for the next games coming up?
What our problem was today was shot calling. We were kind of lacking on it, and practiced it yesterday. It was perfectly, like, excellent to the point. But today was just an off day, and it just threw us all off.
Anything to add, Strozel?
Yeah, I would agree. The shot calling and just like decisiveness, we were kind of a little slow to take action once we like decided to come up with something. So I think moving forward, as long as we have our heads in the game and act on our plans a little bit better, I think I'd love to play them again. Hopefully, like playoffs, or if we do get a chance to play them again, I think it would be great.
I mean, yeah, truly, the first two maps were pretty winnable for you guys. So, I mean, it's definitely possible that if you were to play them again, it would be a close game once again. So, I want to go to a more positive note and talk about. We forgot to mention MVPs to Team Rocket, but PowerPoint Brow Daddy got it for them. But we did give support MVP to What's Nat, and I just wanted to ask you guys, how pivotal is What's Nat to this team, and how
Story, you got this one.
Yeah, honestly, Nat is definitely a cornerstone when it comes to the supports. Really holds it down. Her BAP is super strong, and she's even real good when it comes to just like shot calling on support as well. So I mean, she's definitely deserved the MVP. Uh, Always plays well.
I agree
Yeah,
with him too.
for sure. And one more question for you guys, and that's going to be, we're looking ahead to next week. You guys get to battle Sandbagging Smurfs. What are you looking forward to for that game?
That'll be a fun one.
I'll be honest with you, our tanks were like main tank diff. Just go full main tank diff.
I was going to say, yeah, there's actually, a former player on
Oh,
the
really?
Sandbagging Smurfs that also used to play for Diving Phoenix. So obviously I'm sure there's some stuff going on there.
Yeah, we love playing against them. Is like, it's just this game is just gonna be fun for the both teams.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
definitely.
like a rile up and everything. It's gonna be great.
If you have
Yeah,
not
most
if you have not seen, they did win tonight against prestigious noobs 3-2. So they are currently on a
Nice.
2 game winning streak. So they've got some momentum. So it should be a fun game. Kanade, did you have any additional questions that you wanted to ask?
I wanted to really say a question, but just the Stros are doing like on the last like 2 or 3 maps, you started popping off.
a little too late.
Yeah,
I think he was popping off the whole game, personally. But
I think you were definitely like the biggest problem that for Team Rocket to deal with.
Yeah, I would
But
say that as well.
I wouldn't say on Hanamura though. That was definitely I just was out of it on Hanamura. Just
everybody had
not.
a bad map, It happens. It happens. I've been there before.
Man,
yeah,
appreciate it.
definitely had really good performances on Numbani and Havana there as well. So, yeah, great job tonight, guys. Unfortunately, couldn't get the win, but you'll have a good chance to bounce back next week, and I can assure you that there will be better days ahead. Thank you guys for coming in for the interview, and
Thanks. Yeah, thank you,
All
you
right.
guys as well.
Thank you, Kirby.
yeah, of course, no problem.
Have a good night, fellas.
You too.
Night.
Well, I think that will be it for this broadcast. Team Rocket get the victory 3-0-1. Diamond Phoenix getting the draw on Numbani, and the MVPs falling out as Tank going to Brow Daddy, DPS going to PowerPoint, and Support going to What's Nat. I've been Mr. Game and Kirby, joined by Kanade.
Hello.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Have a good night.